If you're running a business, you know you have to be doing digital marketing. But where on earth do you even start? Well, today we're going to cut right through all that noise. We're pulling the most powerful, essential strategies from the book Digital Marketing for Dummies and turning them into a simple blueprint you can use like tomorrow. Let's do this.
You know that feeling you're looking at all the different social media platforms, email marketing, SEO, ads, and it just feels like a giant, chaotic maze? You're definitely not alone. But what if there was a simple, structured path to follow? A way to bring order to all that chaos? Well, that's exactly what we're going to build together right now.
All right, here's our game plan. It's 5 core building blocks. We're going to start with the most important thing, who you're talking to. Then, we'll map out the path they take with you. After that, we'll pick the right campaigns to actually reach them and figure out what to say with the right content. And finally, we'll wrap it all up in a super simple blueprint for action.
First things first, this is non-negotiable. Before you write a single word of ad copy, before you make a single post, you have to know, really know who you're talking to. This is the foundation everything else is built on. The best tool for the job is what's called a customer avatar. Just think of it as a detailed profile of the one single perfect customer you want to attract. Getting this right is so critical because it literally changes everything. The products you make, the emails you write, the ads you run. It's the difference between shouting into a void and having a real conversation with someone who wants to listen. So, how do you actually build one of these? Well, you focus on these 5 key things. You need to know their goals. You need to know where they hang out online, what blogs they read, what podcasts they listen to. The basic demographics, of course, that's easy. But these last 2, that's where the real magic is. What are their biggest challenges and pain points? And what's going to make them say no to your offer?
Okay, this is what I'm talking about. This makes it real. Let's meet Agency Eric. He isn't just a statistic. He's a 40-year-old CEO, he's married, he's got 2 kids, makes about $150K a year. But check out his quote. I surround myself with people smarter than I. Wow. See how that one sentence tells you so much about what drives him? This is the kind of detail that turns a fuzzy idea into an incredibly sharp marketing tool. All right, so we know who we're talking to. The next question is, where are we taking them? This is where you map out the customer journey. It's basically the framework you create to turn a complete stranger into your biggest fan. Now, I know 8 stages can look a little intimidating, but don't sweat it. You can really just think of this in 3 big moves. First, you've got to get their attention and earn their trust. That's all about awareness, engagement, and getting them to subscribe. Next, you turn that trust into actual business by converting them with a small offer and building excitement for your main thing. And finally, you turn that one sale into a real relationship, creating loyal advocates and promoters. Your job is just to move them from one step to the next. So we have our person, and we have the path we want them to walk. The obvious question is, how? How do we actually move them along this journey? Well, the answer is using specific marketing campaigns as your tools. And here's the best part. This is where it all gets way simpler. You don't need 50 different complex strategies. Nope. To do pretty much anything you want in your business, you only need to master 3 core types of campaigns. That's it. Just 3. And here they are. First, you've got acquisition campaigns. Their only job is to get new people in the door. Then you have monetization campaigns. These are for generating revenue from the people you already know. And finally, engagement campaigns, which are all about creating those diehard fans. The key takeaway here, and this is huge, is that you can't mix the goals. Every campaign needs one and only one job. So we've basically built the marketing engine, right? We have our avatar, our journey, and our campaigns. Now it's time to add the fuel, the content. But here's the thing, you can't just throw any old content in there. It has to be the right message at exactly the right time. And this image shows it perfectly. This is the classic marketing funnel. People come in at the top when they first realize they have a problem. They move to the middle when they start looking around for solutions, and they hit the bottom when they're ready to buy. Your content is the guide that walks them down that path. So up at the top of the funnel, or tofu, the goal is just one thing, awareness. You're not selling, you're helping. That's why things like blog posts and social media work so well here. It's low commitment. The content's job is just to help them put a name to their problem and make them realize that solutions, like yours, even exist. Next up, the middle of the funnel, or MOFU.
At this point, your prospect is actively shopping. They're evaluating their options. This is the perfect spot for things like webinars or in-depth guides. Why? Because when someone is willing to give you their email or an hour of their time, they're signaling that they're serious. This content proves you're the best choice out there. And finally, we hit the bottom of the funnel, or BOFU. This is the moment of truth. They're ready to buy. Your content here has to make that decision feel easy and safe. Things like demos or customer stories are perfect because they answer that one last critical question in their mind. Yeah, but will this actually work for me? It's that final nudge of confidence they need. Okay, let's zoom out and put all these pieces together on the table. What we've built here isn't just a list of tactics. It's a strategic blueprint. It's a system for how every single piece of your digital marketing should fit together. I love this quote from the book because it gets right to the heart of the matter. Most frustration in marketing comes from using the wrong tool for the job. A blog post is an amazing tool for awareness at the top of the funnel, but trying to use it to make direct sales at the bottom, that's like trying to use a hammer to drive a screw. It's not going to work. So here it is, your blueprint, your checklist for success. If you remember anything, remember this. 1. Define your customer avatar. 2. Map out their journey. 3. Choose the right campaign for the job, acquisition, monetization, or engagement. And 4. Fuel that campaign with content that perfectly matches where they are in the funnel. You see, when you have a framework like this, digital marketing stops being a chaotic mess. It becomes a predictable, powerful engine for growth. The only question left is, based on everything you've just seen, what's your first step?
Subscribe for more actionable executive summaries, and if you want deeper insights and exclusive content, support the channel on Patreon. You'll find the link in the description.